Hello, guys. So, Happy New Year, and today I come here to present to you a couple of White Force combos. These combos specifically build on a variant that does not rely on Fiendsmith cards, and therefore I will give a warning that these combos are probably not possible in a Fiendsmith-centric build, simply because of the extra deck space that did to be lines, especially when we get to the third and fifth combo here. And also, these combos are mainly variations on each other. And I already made this video a couple of days ago before the openings for the SUDA set happened. And there have been a couple of light changes that I had to adapt to, and we will get to it. So, anyway, the first combo I'm going to show is Silvy plus one discard, one spell trap discard, and it goes as far. So you activate Elzette. Elzette discards a spell. We get ourselves a Silvy search. We normal summon Silvy. Silvy effect searches us Tales of the White Forest. Then we go into a Synchro 6 for Archella. Archella is going to discard Tales of the White Forest, search Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. This is very important that you search this or have access to this at every time past Summon 4, and we will get towards it in just a second. So, next thing what we're going to do is activate Tales of the White Forest's Graveyard effect to reset it itself, and then we activate it directly afterwards. Get ourselves Azamina, Elzette of the White Forest, special it with its own effect, and then we synchro 8 into Diabel. Diabel is going to be Chainlink 2, and Azamina Elzette is going to be Chainlink 1. And Diabel is going to add ourselves one of the spell cards from our deck to the from our graveyard to the hand, and then Azamina Elzette is going to add ourselves Deception of the Sinful Spoil. Very important that it is specifically Deception. We then go ahead, Silvy effect, special summon herself, and if that does not, if you don't have to do this to get a tribute off of this, there's an alternative line. I'm going to showcase it next. Then activate Deception of the Sinful Spoils, and Deception is going to tribute the Silvy and get ourselves Hollowed Azamina. Hollowed Azamina, we discard for it Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. Super duper important that we discard that card and do not send Deception. Because we will want to do something with it while it is in graveyard. Then the next thing that we're going to do is activate Hollowed Azamina, shuffle Azamina Elzette of the White Forest back into our deck, since the card just has to shuffle an Azamina card. And that means you can also just shuffle Azamina Elzette rather than Murcielago like how you're used to doing it. And now you're going to activate again Hollowed Azamina. You're going to chain Wanted Seeker of the Sinful here. And we're going to send the Wanted, search ourselves a Black Witch. And we are going to special summon with Hollowed Azamina the Omni Negate. Then we're going to go ahead, we're going to draw one card off of Wanted by shuffling back Sinful Spoils of the Forest. And then we are going to send Deception, special summon Diabellstar the Black Witch. Then get ourselves access to Spoils of the White Forest. And then you can technically go for a Synchro 2, for Link 2. But you don't have to, because you could technically keep the Diabellstar in on field, and then you could, on your opponent's turn, use Sinful Spoils with the White Forest to fuse off the Diabellstar and the Murcielago to whatever fusion monster you prefer. There's like Dragostapelia that you could go into. You could go into a Guardian Chimera if you have a monster in hand. And technically, you could do some other stuff. And the funny thing about that is that Diabellstar would actually trigger on your opponent's turn to send one card from your hand to the graveyard and special summon herself. Then you get to set another Sinful Spoils card, which is going to be a Wanted. So you get even more follow-up off of that. So, and this is just like an example how a turn can go out, and yeah, all kinds of things that you could do here. So, next replay is the same thing, the same combo, but if you draw a monster. And this is the line I have been doing in testing pretty much every time. You might have seen a DB Grinder video of my early testing. I will say that in that video, I was pretty bad at the game. And there were lines for me actually win games. And that also the deck list that I have been running has been fairly bad, but it has been significantly improved. But I will be waiting to actually showcase the deck list for a little while because first of all, there are a couple of spicy tech cards in it that I do not want to showcase just yet, simply because there is a very, very spicy tech existing that nobody has on their radar, and really works well into the current meta. But anyways, uh, I'll showcase the guru when I see fit. So let's go over the line. Go Elzette. Elzette get Silvy. Silvy normal summon, search Tails. And then we do the same thing again. We search Sinful, Spoils of White Forest. We then get ourselves the Tails. Tails search Elzette. Then use special Elzette. Elzette is going to synchro with or to Diabell. Diabell is going to add back Tails, get Deception. And now because we have a monster in hand, this is where it differs. We contribute the monster in hand to then get Hollowed Azamina. And then we have multiple options to play this. We can activate Hollowed Azamina to summon the Omninegate, or we can activate Hollowed Azamina to summon Morchilago. Both work. I did it here to summon Morchilago, simply because if we get Nibbed here, it does not matter, and I'll get towards it in play. So now we can shuffle back Hollowed Azamina to add back, activate it again, do the Wanted Chain, then you special summon Ilia Silvia. Then you can go Diabell, set the Sinful Spoils, and then here you can summon Silvy. And now the thing that actually became possible with which I did not predict that would happen, is we can go for Magistus Chozoro by sending the Morchilago and the Diabell to graveyard, and then we can overlay in a Dweller. And Dweller is super good in this format, and in general, this board is like you have 3 cards in addition to your board, and you get an add back. So whatever you discarded, you can add back, or you can add back tails, or whatever. And this Dweller usually can dodge pretty much everything in the game because often you have access to another trap card. So they would have to like do Ascent 3 for you to deal with the Dweller if they wanted to do Droplet, and they would actually have to send a monster card to. They would have to send a monster, trap, and a spell, stop this Dweller from activating, which is pretty damn good. But this also only works if you have a very dedicated extra deck, and I'll get to the card that you actually need for this line now. So this is, again, Elzette plus a spell to discard. And this time, we're going to think that Nib is going to be in play, okay? So we're going to play the line again exactly the same way. So now we get ourselves Tails. Tails, search Sinful Spoils of the Forest. Then activate Tails, set back, add Elzette, special Elzette, and then we synchro into Diabell. So this is the point where Nibiru becomes live. So they could use Nibiru now, which that case we just activate Diabell, sending the Sinful Spoils of the White Forest to the graveyard to get ourselves the card set and another body in graveyard, another synchro one. We usually send Archela in that case, simply because we do not want our Silvera to randomly get Bestial. And yeah, from there on, can do another thing. But we are gonna wait with the Nib for one more summon because it is not threatened yet. So now we go ahead, do the Silvy Reborn, and now your opponent can now, like, this is the probably best point to Nibiru, because it would get rid of the Silvy that you wanted to tribute. It gets rid of two bodies. So now we're going to Nib. And we're going to chain Diabel, discarding the Sinful Spoils, and summoning the Archela. So now we get a token, they get a Nib, and we get to set this. Now we tribute the Nib token, search Hollowed Azamina. And then we activate Hollowed Azamina, sending one to get Murcielago. Murcielago is going to get ourselves Wanted. Then we activate Hollowed Azamina to shuffle back and add back. And now we activate it again, sending this time two cards to summon Saint Azamina. Uh, Technically, you do not need Saint Azamina directly for this line, but you can also play the card that it's going to summon. But Saint Azamina actually comes up in this situation here because legally you need to be able to summon to activate the fusion summon effect from Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. And this is legal if they droplet you for Monster Trap or Monster Spell. You chain a trap and then you chain Sinful Spoils of the White Forest to fusion. And then you're going to chain in your graveyard the Silvy that you detached off of your dweller, and then you're going to Silvy shuffle the Diabel away, and you're then able to technically synchro summon into Chozoro. Or otherwise, you could also synchro summon into Guardian Chimera and make the dweller forced to resolve, which is in your case usually a really good position because you have a lot of follow-up. But yeah, that's why you kind of need the Saint Azamina. And apart from that, Saint Azamina is kind of a decent floodgate because your opponent cannot target itself or their own card effects. And cards like Tempai Dragon Fadra uh, do not work, or the Sangenpai Bident Dragion do not work on. Also, this thing has a big booty if you summon it in defense. So you can also do that. And the funniest thing about this is that it has a Yubel-esque effect where you can simply just punch into opponent's cards and go for game. So if we would have gone second and they did a nib, what we could do here is Saint Azamina to summon from deck another Azamina Elzette, and that is 6,000 damage already. And then we could technically, in this situation, resummon the Silvy to get even more damage in, which is absolutely hilarious. And that OTK has come up in testing multiple times. But anyways, so now to how the actual play around Nib works. So Saint Azamina is now going to summon Moa Regina. Moa Regina is then going to target the Diabel, Queen of the White Forest, to reborn herself. And now going to add the Diabel. You're going to add the Diabel star, of course, off the one. I, in this case, did it a little bit delayed, but it doesn't matter. Then activate Wanted to shuffle back the White Forest Sinful Spoils to draw one card. And then you can technically go ahead and discard the card you drew for Diabel Star. And the nice thing about it when you activate the Wanted in Graveyard is you can activate Moa Regina effect to target your opponents or your cards, destroy them. And the Azamina monsters, the level 6s, have an effect when they get destroyed. So we are getting to. So what we're going to do is activate the Moa Regina as Chainlink 2 to Wanted, target both the Nibiru and the Murcielago. destroy both. And then we get the Murcielago effect to search a Sinful Spores card, so we get to search ourselves either Wanted or Sinful Forest. But we're going to search White Forest because that's the card we need most. And then we summon Diabell Star, and then Diabell Star sets ourselves the other quick play. And then we can go to Link 2. And again, if we had another monster in our hands, we could have instead gone for a Dweller. So this board would end on a pop 2 via Moarina. We get to do a Guardian Chimera play via Sinful Spores of the White Forest. We get the monster for the Guardian Chimera play via Haunted by adding back the Diabell Star. The Diabell Star also gets to trigger off of the Guardian Chimera play. We get the Book of Eclipse off of the Diabell. And in this case, yeah, either Dweller or SP or full Fiendsmith combo if you somehow can fit it. The same combo also works with Silvy, but if you want to get the full board with Silvy, you need 2 discards. There are also combos with 1 discard on Silvy and 0 discards on Silvy, but those are relatively weaker, and I'm not going to showcase them. You probably have seen them. So normal summon Silvy, search Tails, Tails search Elzette. Elzette is going for the first spell. Get yourself Azamina Elzette, and then you're going to go Archiella, discard the second spell to get Sinful Spores of the White. If you already have this card in hand, you don't even need the effect of Archiella, or you're going to use the effect of Archiella to discard the Sinful Spores of White Forest to then get access to Woes. And Woes still stays amazingly good in this deck because it is a trap card that you can search that summons follow-up, allows you to do a second Book of Eclipse in addition to Diabell, and it is a trap, so you can chain it to Droplet pretty consistently, which is, in our case, absolutely great. There's, of course, the option that you also play Azamina Aphis or Azamina as it is. But I do rather prefer the Woes simply because it is way better into simplified game states, especially if you like get hand trapped to death. Aphis or yeah, Unleashing will not guarantee save you, while a Book of Eclipse plus follow up will get you at least into a position that is played. So now we go ahead, summon the Azamina Elzette, and then we are in the same position as with the Elzette line, the Elzette plus discard line. So I'm going to just repeat the combo, and you'll see that the end board is going to be the pretty much same thing here. So, okay. So this is again the same thing. We still have the fusion. We have Deception set for the cost for Diabell. Pretty damn good. Same thing again with the Nibiru. So to not strain my vocal cords, I'm not going to commentate too much over this. But we're alternating how the Nibiru works in this situation. So we're going to say that they're going to nib us right here, just in case. Or no, actually, we're not going to nib here. We're going to nib on the Hollowed Azamina. And this is what happens when you get nipped on the Hollowed Azamina. You just send the Hollowed Azamina for Diabell effect to get yourself another body for the Nibiru tribute. So you have access to another Synchro monster for even better follow-up on your opponent's turn. So also that you don't need to shuffle back Diabell to summon back a Silvy from your graveyard, your plays, which is really solid gameplay. Of course, this plays into Bestials in addition to the nib, but I think I take that as a good cost. And usually you have more extenders in your hand, and usually a Dweller is really solid. And And if you have extenders, you usually getting the Dweller. For this combo, it also applies that if you have another monster to tribute for the White Forest, for the Deception, you just get yourself access um, to the Dweller. And yeah, this is again the same situation. The only difference here, if they nib you on the Hollowed Azamina, is that you keep the Nibiru token, which is a little awkward, but we can deal with it. Because in this situation, we get the Diabolic in the hand, and we get the Sinful Spoils on the field, so we have the Guardian Chimera play technically. Or we can also just set another Sinful Spoils card, like Haunted. Um, yeah, this rounds up all the combos I currently want to showcase. There are more combos with Fiendsmith stuff, but as of now, due to both budget and reprint reasons, I am not testing Fiendsmith just yet, even though Fiendsmith is probably going to be the variant with better ceiling, better gameplay into the meta. But this does not mean that this deck without Fiendsmith is to be disrespected. So yeah, this is what I got for you. I hope you guys enjoyed. Uh, for deck list, expect it after the release of the set. Anyways, see you guys. Bye.